morning.
Good morning.
Amen.
Amen.
Let's pray. Father, we give you thanks this day. We give you honor. Father, we ask you for wisdom to understand your word. Let it resonate that we will take this word and use this word in our lives. Father, we give you honor and praise for all that made it, families and friends. In Jesus' name we pray, amen.
Amen.
Today we're going to start our scripture reading from Hebrews. We do have some Bibles. We have some Bibles out there on the chairs. And Hebrews 4. Hebrews 4 to 11. Hebrews 4, verse 1 to 11.
Amen.
So when you find it, say amen.
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 So we can read together. Let us therefore fear, lest a promise being made to us to enter into rest, any of you would come short. For unto us the gospel was preached, as well as was to them. But the word preached did not profit them, not being mixed with faith. You want to remember that place there? Then in them that heard it. For we which have believed do enter into rest, as he said, as I have sworn in my wrath, if they shall enter into my rest. The works were finished from the foundation of the world, for he spake in a certain place of a seventh day on this wise. God did rest the seventh day from all his works. And in this place again, if they shall enter into my rest. Seeing therefore it remains that some must enter therein, and they who it was first preached enter not, because unbelief. And again I limit the certain day, saying in David's day, after so long a time as it is said, today if ye will hear his voice, harden not your hearts. For if Jesus has given them rest, then he would afterward have spoken of another day. There remains therefore a rest to the people of God. For he that is entered unto his rest, he also had ceased from his own works, as God did. Let us labor therefore to enter into the rest, lest any man fall after the same example of unbelief. Amen.
Amen.
We want to thank God for the reading of his word. So basically we want to, the focus is entering into God's rest.
Amen.
And basically mixing faith with the word that was preached, meaning the word that was read from the word of the Bible. So, for we have believed, do enter. So basically it's putting a whole bunch of emphasis on your belief. All you have to do is believe in God and believe in his word, and you shall enter into the rest.
Amen.
And the rest that God has for you, that a rest and a peace that surpasses all the understanding of man.
Yeah.
So when you enter that place, you know that place. So there's a couple points that I want to bring out on things that could stop you from entering rest, or being defined that things you need to understand that could block your rest. And I just have a couple definitions. The dictionary defines first is a calling, because God is calling you to rest.
Yeah.
If you're not accepting the call of God calling you, you can't enter.
Amen.
So the first definition, it says a strong urge, and this is a Webster's dictionary definition. It says a strong urge towards a particular way of life or career. So to put emphasis on that, some of us may want to pursue a certain type of career in life that, for whatever reason, you don't want to pursue it, this, that, I don't have enough education. But if God is calling you to that career, that's the career you need to follow.
Amen.
So you need to find that it's not just a call of ministry, it can be just your specific career in life.
Amen.
And the funny thing that I also found about this calling, some of us may be walking in a calling, but looking for something else. So when you're looking for something else, you haven't understood that you're already living in your calling.
Amen.
And the people that you're serving in that calling, God has called you to those people.
Yeah.
So those who have a specific calling to minister to others. And I want to venture to say, even in your calling of your particular career, you're going to minister to others. He says, just speak a good word. Sometimes when somebody's down, if you find yourself talking to them and lifting them up, you're speaking. That's a part of your calling, to raise each other up daily. The other definition, before I get to that, I just want to give you a story about my calling and kind of going into the other word, which is a shame. But God sometimes, well, a lot of times, call you to do things that you have no idea you can do. So a part of my issue was, I hear God calling a long time, but my kids was little, and I'm saying, man, no way, I'm not about to do that. So like, I mean, they was real little, and he said, read the Bible to them, and I would hear it clear. I'm like, nah, I ain't doing it. But as I got older, I understood that was him calling. And you know, sometimes I regret that. But the other word is a shame. And the dictionary definition of shame is an embarrassment or guilty for one's actions. Some of us think of a fear of a great embarrassment. So, you know, I think about this, and I think about like my father. He hardly let a lot of things embarrass him. He let a lot of things wasn't so embarrassing. So, and we find ourselves not having everything together, looking at the next person, thinking that, oh, they doing better than me, or I wish I had what they had. You cannot reach God's rest by focusing on what other people have. And nor you're gonna ignore him calling, because the only folks you have is like, I'm embarrassed to have this, I'm embarrassed I don't have a dress clothes, I don't have this, I don't have a car, or whatever the case may be. So that's my point number 2. And the definition of rest, it says cease works of movement in order to relax, refresh oneself, and it says recover strength. And sometimes when you read the dictionary, Webster's, and you read the Bible's dictionary, sometimes they don't go hand in hand. But for me, the Bible definition stands stronger than the world's definition of the world, whatever the world is trying to say the definition is. But this time, the rest, it lined it up. It says cease from one's works. It says also refresh yourself. And as we watch over Jesus' life, he refreshes himself in the Lord. He prayed into the Lord, and it refreshed him and filled him back up. And the only way you're going to get rest, the truly only way you're going to get rest, and I don't know what you call it, but you have to read the word. You have to read the word, and you have to read the word. So I want to speak about the calling a little bit, because in Samuel 1, 3, and 9, God was calling Samuel. So, and this is just one verse on. It's a nice little story. I'm going to sum it up a little bit. It says, therefore Eli said unto Samuel, go and lie down. And it shall be, if he call thee, that thou say, Speak, Lord, for thou servant hear. So Samuel went and lied down. See, he told him that because God was calling Samuel, and Samuel was waking up, and he was thinking that the voice that he was hearing was Elijah. So after a couple calls, Elijah said, well, I'm not calling him. And then it came to him, he said, the Lord is calling him. So he said, go and lay down. The next time you hear him, say, Speak, Lord, your servant hear. So sometimes the voice is familiar. So you may hear it in a certain place, or you may be in danger. You may hear a familiar voice saying, turn around.
There you go.
Amen. Amen. Amen.
Amen.
Amen.
Amen.
So Elijah 61:7. When you decide to rest in God, He will give you double.
Amen.
Double for your troubles.
Amen.
And I have it. I have a new life.
Amen.
And I want to say that it's a blessing just to hear it, because if it wasn't for God, I wouldn't be here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right.
You have to mix your faith with the word preach.
Yes, sir.
You have to mix your faith with the word preach. See, the powerful thing is that even sometimes you may hear something that you don't even agree with. If God is telling you to do it, you need to just do it.
Amen.
You need to just do it. Even if you don't like the preacher, I don't like the way he said it. The word said, if he gives you a word, the preacher gives you a word, mix your faith.
Yes, sir.
It's like he's the first chemist. He has the antidote for any situation you have.
Amen.
The courtrooms are full of people that's not in love with Jesus Christ.
Amen.
Because they're supposed to be selling their situations outside of court and not even headed to the divorce court. And if they both was in love with each other, in love with Jesus, I may say, they will never make it there.
Amen.
Never make it there. So if you want discernment, this is it. The Bible's it. But discernment is you can see when a person's not in love with Jesus, because Jesus won't do what they're doing. And if you know Jesus, you know He wouldn't do it. And sometimes, if you want to say a kind word, but you want to stay out of the business, just pray silently for them.
There you go.
You may not want to get involved. Oh, I'm going to keep my mouth closed. But He said, if you know what to do and don't do it, it's sin. So let's love on each other, love on our brothers and sisters. I also want to just take this time. Thank all y'all for coming out. It is they all look like a tall glass of water. All like a tall glass of water.
Yes, indeed.
Pretty good, bro.
So for which we believe, and I want to stress that emphasis because sometimes we have been done so wrong, and our hearts has hardened so bad
Yeah.
that we don't want to believe anything that anybody say. And it's a safety net. It's a safe place to be. And even myself, I like to be safe. You want to believe in a person, but you just can't. So just keep on praying and keep on talking to the Lord. He's gonna guide you on through.
Amen.
And also, this here goes with a shame with the points of not entering God's rest. You cannot be ashamed of the Lord. Praying over your food, reading the Word. Even if you struggle with reading, they got CDs, they got the internet now. They can read, they have verses. They'll read right along with you. So there's no more excuses. There's no more excuses. I say all this in love. I don't mean that. I'm not trying to condemn anybody. If you think I might know something, but I don't know nothing. First to tell you, I don't know nothing. There was I can't see that clock right there, so I don't know how much time you have.
17. I got my contact.
Thank you. The key to life is God. God is the only answer to life. And you may say, oh, I'm doing very well on my own. But when you have other issues that you may not be thinking about when you're saying that, I'm doing very well on my own, they're still there. So you can try to fool yourself sometimes. And when I say that, meaning that I've done that. And you need his help. We need his help. God is the master of repairs. So I use this correlation of when something happens in your home, or you need handyman work, or you need your car broke down, you're going to take it to the profession that's going to be able to fix it. You're not going to take it to the guy that works on motorcycles, so you got a car issue, or your motorcycle to the car dealership. So the only person that knows your issues is God. So sometimes we want to take it to our neighbors. They well versed and they upbeat and lifted, they can help you get somewhere, but they should be directing you to the Lord. So be warned of that. Be warned of that. Sometimes we forget. I forget. You want to vent. You want to say, "Oh, this guy's getting on my last nerve," and they do. They do. They do. We get on your nerves. And sometimes they're being used completely by Satan. So I got one last scripture here that I want to say. And it's a story about Habakkuk. And Habakkuk, he got so excited about God, and he knew that God was coming to talk to him. So in Habakkuk 2, if you want to turn there, in Habakkuk 2:1. Say amen. You got it? He said that I would stand at my watch and station myself on the rampart. I will take a look to see what he will say to me. And what answered, I am to give to this comforter. Right? So when the Lord came, and the Lord said, he answered him. He said, then the Lord replied. He said, write the revelation and make it plain on a tablet, so that a hearer may run with it. For the revelations wait at appointed time, and it speaks of the end, and will not prove false.
Amen.
Though it linger, wait for it. It will certainly come and will not delay. Amen.
Amen.
So, it made me, when I was reading this, I hadn't read this for years, but for the first time I went back and I said, let me see who this guy is that's saying this, Habakkuk. So he's a prophet of God. So basically, he got so excited, he knew God was going to give him a word. So he said, let me sit and wait, right? Then when God came, he answered. He told him to write it down. So we should always position ourselves to write the revelation down. The reason why he told him, he said, so when the person that sees it can take it and run with it, that person may very well be you. Because sometimes we forget. We forget a lot. We may not realize that we forget. We want to tell the other person that they forgot and let them know how bad they forget and how many times they done forgot. So I deplore to you that this is probably one of the most important things you can do. When you hear a revelation for your life, you need to write it down.
Amen.
Then the devil can't trick you and say, oh, well, it wasn't said that way. It wasn't this way. It's written. And then God says, when you see it, you can run with it. But listen to this. He said it's going to happen. If you want to know the future, when you receive a revelation for your life, he said it may tarry, but it's going to happen. Amen. And you can know your future because you got it written down, and no matter what anybody else trying to deliver to you, otherwise, it is written, and God has delivered a revelation to you. Amen?
Amen.
Amen.
So we want to mix our faith and believe. Unbelief is evil. So we want to keep our belief in God, and we want to thank God.
Amen.
Thank God for his wisdom. So Father, I thank you for your wisdom. I thank you for your time. I thank you for your loving people. I thank you for your love. I thank you for the love that I didn't think I had.
Amen.
I thank you for your strength. And let your word resonate in the hearts of the people that heard it.
Yeah.
Father, I call a strong remembrance in their hearts of this day, that they will remember the revelation that you spoke unto them as this service was taking place. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Deacons, please stand. If you're a deacon, stand. Deacon, stand. Trustee, your trustee, stand. Need a motion on the floor. Somebody make a motion, please.
I made a motion.
Make a motion that we accept Brother Donald as a deliverer, a minister of the gospel of Jesus Christ, licensed by this church. Could you word it that way, please, sir?
Made a motion that we accept, I think his name,
Brother Abaddon.
Robert Abaddon, that we accept him as this church.
Yes. Amen. And amen. And I have a second. Secretary, please record. It's been moved and properly second. We accept Brother Donald as a minister of the gospel, the good news. That is the gospel, the good news of Jesus Christ. We're going to license him as a licensed minister. Amen. By the Association of Independent Churches in which we are affiliated. Amen. Brother Donald, God bless you. You have studied and shown yourself approved. Please give him a hand. Amen. You all are witnesses, so you get to participate in this trial sermon. You've heard the motion, you heard the second. Are you ready for the vote? Please agree by saying yes.
Yes.
All right. If you agree that Brother Donald should be accepted as a minister of the gospel of Jesus Christ, please signify with the use of voting sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Good. It has been moving properly. Second, Brother Donald, welcome. You are now, what do you want to be called? Because some folks funny, they know. As long as you preach, I don't care what they call me, but you might be different. Some people don't like to use reverend, some people like minister, and whatever. You're a preacher. Congratulations. I don't call you, because I'm from the Baptist of faith, or Reverend Albert Donald. Y'all please welcome him. All right, Brother Donald, come on, stand right up here. Those of y'all who will come around and give right hand of fellowship and congratulate Brother Donald, Reverend Donald, for the first time, Reverend Albert Donald, and his lovely wife, come stand with him, amen, and his family, amen. If you're a son or child and you're here, you belong to him, come on around while we give him the right hand of fellowship right now, amen.
Praise God. As they do that, if there's anyone here to hear the message and desire to give your life to Christ, you can come down as well. If there's anyone here that desires to give their life to Christ at this time, please come down.